Hello, everyone, and welcome to this training. If you are live or if you are watching this video, today I'm going to show you how to turn any lesson plan into a module in Canvas. So last week, or yesterday, I asked for you to send me your lesson plan so I could turn it into a module. I only received one lesson plan from somebody, but that was nice because I got to really focus on what they wanted, and I got to ask questions on what they wanted from me. So she asked me to do Thursday 10:15, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what her learning objective was. The student determines the author's purpose of the chapters read. She asked me to skip book passage 5, the blue book passage 5, because she would either do that with her kids at a later date or she would do that with her kids before she assigned them this module. Then her anticipatory set was this YouTube video. She would have the students read chapters 21 to 22, and this is in the this was in a book on Epic, and we will be linking that book. She wanted to have a discussion for the author's purpose for those chapters, and she wanted to have author's purpose task cards, and as the closure, review a vocabulary word and have them put it in a sentence. So that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to start doing. So what we want to do first is starting with our homepage. So we are at our homepage. We are going to go to modules. And now what we are going to do is we are going to add a module. So when we add a module, I have no clue what's happening there. So when we add a module, we are going to click this blue plus module button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it the date, the subject, and then the main idea. You want to have a naming convention for your modules just so when your kids come in and look at them, they know what they're looking for. You know, students really like consistency and they like knowing what to expect. So if you have the date, the subject, and the main idea, then this will help them to understand in the future exactly what they're looking for. So I'm going to add the module, and we're going to come down here to the bottom because this is where the module has been added. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this plus button. Plus. Come on. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text header. So all this text header is it's just a way for you to add kind of a subject to what the activity, assignment, file, quiz, anything like that is going to be. So I'm going to add the text header. And this text header is going to say start here a set. Now, one of the cool things about Canvas is you can actually add emojis to your headers and also to any of these text boxes here. You can add emojis. So I'm going to go to the Emojipedia, and I'm going to find an emoji that I want to put. So I'm just going to type in start because I want like a start emoji. And here we go. I'm going to use a checkered flag. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click copy, and then I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to click paste. So now, oh, it copied over that. All right, so now I have a little checkered flag symbol that will come up, and this will tell the kids that they are starting here. So this is just a text header. They don't click on this, they don't do anything, but this is going to be on top of our A set, and this is where they're going to do their work. So now I'm going to click the plus button again, and this is where I'm actually going to put in a page. So this page, we're going to make a new page. All right, you can see all of the pages that you've made down below. All of the pages that you've made or that you've imported are down here. And we're going to call our page name. This is going to be, let's see, this is going to be our, and this is going to be, we're just going to call this our video. So we're going to call this our author's purpose video. That's what it is. Author's purpose video. Again, if we want to put a little emoji here, we can come up here and we can choose video. This is, I like putting the little emojis in because it's really cute and it makes the kids, you know, it makes it a little cuter than it would be. So we're just have a little emoji there, and we're gonna add this item. So now we have this page here, and now we need to edit it. So I'm gonna click on the page, and this is where we're gonna click edit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to this Word document where I've got this all set up. So what I'm gonna do is I have the purpose for this activity, and I have the SOL, which I'm gonna put on this page above the video. So I'm going to say, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to read for the kids. So the purpose of this activity is, and this is what they will see. So now we have the purpose of this activity. We know what the students are supposed to do. We know what they're supposed to have, and we know what they're supposed to accomplish by the SOL. So now what we can do is now we can embed that video. So how we're going to do that is we're going to come back to this document where I've shared the YouTube video. This document was just a way for me to kind of organize my thoughts and organize what was going to be on each page, on each discussion, and on each assignment. I like to be organized that way where I can see them one at a time and exactly what steps I'm going to be taking. So now I'm going to click this Insert Edit Media button. And this is where I'm going to put the YouTube video right there. So you can see I just pasted that YouTube video, and I'm going to click OK. And now they will not have to go to YouTube. They will just be able to watch the video here in Canvas. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom. I'm going to click Save. Now I'm not clicking Save and Publish because I'm not going to publish this module. I'm going to publish it as a whole when the whole entire module is done. So what I'm doing now is I'm just saving the pages so that I can go back in and make sure that the module is all done and ready and that I like how it looks before I publish anything. So we're just going to wait. YouTube's been going a little slow today, so right now I'm probably just waiting for YouTube. I will tell you the next thing that we are going to do is the direct instructions. Now I have the link for the Get Epic book, so I can just paste the link. And what I've also done is I've taken screenshots of the book pages as well. So I can upload those and attach those as a file in case the kids are having trouble getting on Get Epic itself. So it looks like this is taking its dear sweet time. I'm just going to click on modules and see if that helps. All right, so once you have saved your page with your video, and I like to put what we're expecting the kids to learn. Then we're going to go back to our modules. And when we go back to our modules, this is when we are going to be adding in a direct instruction page. Now this page will take the kids to Get Epic. And so as you can see, we now have Start Here, a set, we have Author's Purpose, and a video. And now we're going to add another text header. So this header is going to say direct instruction, and this is going to say readings. Again, you can go to your emojis and you can grab an emoji. I'm going to put in a book. So we've got books, copy, come back here to practice, and or come back here to our course, and we're going to put in a book, and we're going to add this item. So now we are going to add in another page. So we're going to add in a new page. Now I like to indent one level so that it goes in one. And this indenting for me helps me look at it better because then I can see the header and then I can see the activity that needs to be done indented in. As you can see, you can indent it in up to 3 levels, but that's just up to you. So I'm going to add a new page, and this is what we're going to call Epic reading, epic reading, and we're going to say chapters 21 to 22 because that was on the lesson plan that they were reading, chapters 21 to 22. So as you can see, we now have epic reading chapters 21 to 22. I can see now that I did not indent this page. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to click edit, and I am going to indent one level. So when you click edit, this edits the title and it edits the indentation, and I'm just going to click update. And now you can see it is indented. So now I'm going to come over here to this epic reading chapter 21 and 22, and I am going to edit it. What I'm going to do here is this is where I am going to paste that link. Click the link to get to the book. Read chapters 21 and 22. So now I'm going to come back to my Word document. I am going to grab my link that I have, and I'm going to put it on here. I hit enter, and now it is a clickable link that the kids can go to. All right, so I'm going to make this bigger because I hate the 12-point font, especially for students. And what I'm going to do to catch their attention, I have a little image that I downloaded off the internet. So I am just going to upload an image. I'm going to choose the file, and I've got this little author's purpose image that I'm going to add in there. Of course, we need to make sure that we give it alternative text. And now we can put it in the center, and now they can have a little image up at the top. Click the link to get to the book, read chapters 21 and 22, and this will take them to Rosie Revere and the Raucous Riveters, and this will have them take them to the book in Get Epic. So I am going to now that I'm done with that, I'm going to click save. As I said earlier, I'm not publishing yet. I am not going to publish until my whole entire module is done. So I can go down to the bottom. I can see that I have my start here, a set, and that they have this right here, my direct instruction readings. I have this right here. The nice thing is you can add multiple pages. So if you have a book that you've taken screenshots of and you want the kids to read, you can put a picture per page and you can have the kids read it that way. Now I like Get Epic because of course, you know, it's free, the kids can use it, and the kids can click on the words if they're having trouble reading the words. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to add a new text header. And I'm going to come back to my Word document and check what the next thing is. All right, so we're going to have a discussion. What is the author's purpose in those two chapters? So this is still direct instruction. So actually what we're going to do is I'm just going to add a discussion under the direct instruction. So there's not a new text header for this. Since this is still technically direct instruction, I am going to add a new, I'm going to add a discussion. So this is going to be author's purpose. And we are going to indent it one level because this is something that they are going to need to do. And we're going to add the items. So now you can see direct instruction readings, and we have our readings, and now we have our discussion. So we are going to click on it, and then we are going to click edit. So it's already created the discussion for us. We just have to go in and edit it. And what I want them to do is I want them to tell me what the author's purpose was for those two chapters. So I'm going to copy this question, and I'm just going to paste it in here. So what is the author's purpose? And I'm going to make it large so that the kids do not have trouble reading it. All right. Now you can add anything you want to this. If you want to add a video, you can add a video here. If you want to add a picture, you can add a picture here. It is totally up to you. So you can add anything down here, pictures, videos. All right, now we are going to, of course, post this to all sections. If you want to add any attachments, you can add an attachment here. So again, if you think that the kids are going to have trouble getting on Get Epic, you can take pictures or you can add the attachments of the book down here. Allow threaded replies. I'm going to say no, I'm going to not check that because I don't want them to reply to other people's posts. I do want users to have to post before seeing the replies. So this means that they are not going to see anyone else's response to the question until they post their response. So that's really, really nice. Now, if you want this to be graded, if you want this to be like a graded discussion, then you can turn on the grading. And this is where we can go possible points, and you can say, okay, well, this is going to have, let's say, 5 possible points. They're going to get, and then you can have I would always display it as percentage. You can sync this to Synergy. And you can remember, put it under the correct assignment group. I put this under classwork. I'm not going to turn on syncing to Synergy just because this is a manually created course, and of course Synergy isn't connected to it. And we are going to assign it to everyone. You can put on a due date, so when it is due. So if you want this module to be completed by a certain day, so let's say I want this module to be completed by the end of the day on Wednesday. This is going to be an asynchronous Wednesday activity, or actually this was Thursday. She wanted this to be Thursday. So this is going to be an asynchronous Thursday activity. I want this to be completed by midnight on Thursday. So it is going to be available, and I'm going to make it from Thursday until Thursday. So it is available from Thursday at 12 a.m. until Thursday at 12 p.m. So it's available for 12 hours. So now we are going to click save. Of course, again, I am not publishing yet. It tells the kids, so this is basically what the kids will see. They will see that it is a graded discussion. There's 5 points possible, and they will not see anybody else's replies until they give their own reply. All right, so we are going to go back down. I haven't added any emojis to these yet, but I can. I like the emojis, so I will add one. So I'm going to click that edit button. I'm going to come over here to my emoji. I already looked up books, so I'm just going to come here and go to my green book. I'm going to copy. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to update. Now, this author's purpose is a discussion. So let's see if there is an emoji of somebody talking. Ooh, a parrot. I like a parrot. So we can copy the parrot. And you can get metaphorical when it comes to the pictures that you're using. All right, so now we're going to insert another text header, because if I go back to my Word document, I see that the next thing we're going to do is guided/independent practice. So I'm going to copy guided/independent practice. And we are going to talk about, and we're going to say on here that this is going to be the assignment portion. So this is the guided independent practice, and this is the assignment. So we're going to come in here and we're going to click OK. We'll come back and we'll put an emoji in there later. As you can see, I really like that. After learning that, I'm now obsessed with putting emojis in there. So now we're going to insert in an assignment. So we're going to come and we're going to click on assignment, and we're going to click new assignment, and we're going to say assignment name. And this is going to be, what was this again? This is going to be, the author's purpose task cards. Author's purpose task cards. Now, the teacher has already sent me these task cards, which is great, because all I'm going to need to do is just click on author's purpose task cards. I'm going to need to edit it. And this is actually going to be an external submission type. So up here at the top, we don't have to put anything up here. I'm not going to put anything because there doesn't need to be anything. I do need to say how many points this is. I am going to make this, and you can decide how many points that is. I'm just going to make this 100 points. I'm going to display the grade as a percentage because, again, I like percentages rather than points when it's displayed to students. I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to put this as an alternative assessment. This is kind of an alternative assessment. You're still assessing the kids on author's purpose and on being able to pick out what an author's purpose is in a paragraph. And then we're going to come here to submission type and we're going to click external tool. Now we're going to click find. And this is where we are going to go to Google Drive Cloud Assignment. So the Google Drive Cloud Assignment will allow us to pull in Google Drive files, and it will allow you to assign one file per student. So we're going to scroll down. Actually, I'm going to search for it because I already know the name, and this is a lot easier than trying to scroll and find it. So we're going to search for author's purpose. And there it is, author's purpose. Wait, is this the right one? I want to make sure it's the right one. I always second guess myself whenever I'm trying to find anything. So I always try to make sure that I have the right, oh, see, it's not the right one. I want to make sure that I'm doing the AP task cards. So again, this is also why you go in and check. So I'm going to come in and say AP. And actually, we want to do the copy because that's the one that I made a copy of. So there it is. So I always go in and I make sure that I'm doing I'm putting in the correct assignment. And I do that by going in, finding the assignment and just typing in the name of the assignment, or at least the first couple of letters. And then I can choose the assignment and hit submit. Now, it looks like it's gone away. It hasn't. What it has done is it has saved that assignment in the Google Drive Cloud Assignment little gray box there. You just can't see it. So I'm going to hit select and then we are done. Now, allowed attempts. This is where you can have limited attempts and you can give the kids only one attempt. You can again sync it to Synergy. And then you can assign it to everyone. The due date, again, I'm going to do the same due date that I had on the discussion, where I'm going to make it the morning of the 15th, and then it ends on the midnight of the 15th. And I'm going to click save. So now this assignment is ready for the kids. It is, as you can see, it's already there. Here's the copy of AP task cards. As you can see, these task cards are all ready for the students to come in and edit. They will each get a copy. So don't worry about that. You can see that up here, that students will receive a copy of this document that they can modify for their assignment submission. So they will get a copy and they will be able to edit their own copy. So of course they won't be able to see what other people are doing. All right, so we're gonna come down here to the bottom. So we've got our ASET. We've got our video that we're gonna watch. We've got our direct instruction. And actually, I don't like how ASET comes after, so I'm actually gonna edit this. So I'm gonna click these three buttons over here and just click edit. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to put start here, right there. And I'm gonna put ASET right there. And I'm gonna hit update. See, now that looks better for me. All right, so we've got our anticipatory set, we've got our direct instruction, we've got our guided independent practice. Now we are going to move on to the closure. So the closure is going to be another discussion. Now, one of the cool things about Canvas is that you can embed things into pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to embed a Padlet into this because I love Padlets for closures. I think Padlets are an amazing way to get kids kind of talking and talking to each other. Now you do have to have a Padlet account. The nice thing is that you can log in with Google. So what I'm doing is I'm just logging in using my Google account. And then we're just going to come in here and real quick, we are going to make a Padlet. So now that I'm in Padlet, I'm going to make a Padlet just for this discussion. And I'm just going to do a streaming one just so it kind of rolls upward. I'm going to call this author's purpose closure, if I can spell today. And there we go. And we're gonna say in the description, this is where we're gonna put the instructions. So we're gonna come back to our Word document, and this is where we're going to have use the word valve, and I'm gonna have them use it in one different sentence. So I'm gonna come over here, use the word valve in a complete sentence. I remember when I was a teacher, I would always have to say complete sentence, or else my kids would be like, what? So now we're gonna come in here. This is a really long address. So I'm just gonna call this APC 1015. So author's purpose closure 1015 because it's going to be due October 15th. All right, now we always need to make sure that when we're posting, we want attribution. We want to display the author's name above each post. The new post position will be first. Comments, no. And then reactions. What I like to do is I like to do likes because likes are easy. Now, if you don't want any reactions, you can just hit none, and there will be no reactions that anyone will be able to give it. Require approval, I would always turn that on because then you will have to approve what the people put up there. And this is a really nice way for if you're monitoring it, or if you want to go back and approve them and then bring it up later on in class. This is a really easy way for you to bring it back and for you to review it with your kids. So we're going to hit next, and now it is able to start posting. All right, so we're going to hit close. We're going to hit share. And we want to use this embed tool. So we're going to embed it and we're going to copy this. Now this embedding right here, all of this code will embed it in Canvas. So we're going to come back. We are going to add another text header. This is where we're going to talk about our closure. And we're going to say vocabulary review, because this is a vocabulary review closure. We are not going to indent. We are going to add an item, and then we are going to come in here and we are going to add a page. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to also do this as a discussion page. So vocabulary closure. We are going to indent it and we are going to add this item. So now we're going to come in here to the page, and this is where we are going to embed this item. So we're going to click edit. We're going to come insert edit media. And this is where we are going to embed it, and we're going to click OK. And as you can see, we have now embedded our Padlet into this page. So the kids will be able to, when you approve them, the kids will be able to go back and see all of the pads or all of the digital sticky notes that they've added to this pad. So we're going to click save. Now, if we just want to do this as a regular discussion so you can see how it looks, right there, the kids will just click this plus right here and they will be able to use the word valve in a complete sentence. And that's where they'll see purpose, that's where they'll see what it is, what their directions are, and they'll be able to add by clicking the plus button down here. Now, if we want to add a different discussion type, then we'll come down to this module, click the plus again, and we'll just add another discussion. So we can add discussion, a new topic, and we can say closure, or we'll say vocabulary review closure valve. We will indent it. And again, I'm just doing both of these just to show you that they can be done in different ways. You wouldn't post both of these. Actually, I mean, I would only post one of them. So only one of these would actually be your closure. But this is just showing you that it can be done in multiple different ways and that you can use outside tools. So we're going to come to this discussion. And this is what we're going to edit. Remember, we always need to edit them. And this is where we are going to add this, use the word valve. But we're going to say use the word valve in a complete sentence. Again, this looks a little bland. If you want to add a picture or a video here, then you can do that. This is a little bland for some kids, and you can spice it up as much as you want. But we're going to keep scrolling down. We're going to have the users must post. We're not going to allow threaded replies because we don't want to have replies. We don't want to have people reply to other people. Users must post before seeing replies. Now, if we want this to be graded, so if we want to grade them for actually doing this, then we can give them 5 points possible, display points as a percentage. This is where you will sync to Synergy. This is where you can put it in as, again, an alternative assessment, or you can put this in as homework or a quiz, however you want to put it in. And then we will come down here and we will put the date just like we did with the other ones, where it is only going to be available on October 15th. And we are going to click save. So that is it. This took me less than an hour, but I understand that I am a bit more knowledgeable, but it is doable. We can go back to the lesson plan over here, and we took everything that this teacher had in their lesson plan from ASET to closure. We put everything in a module for the kids to do digitally. And all you will have to do is just go in and grade it. So all you will need to do is when you come into this module, you will need to go in and you will need to just grade the author's purpose. You can see anything that has a number of points you will need to grade. So you'll need to grade the author's purpose discussion. You'll just need to give each kid a grade from 0 to 5, telling them how well they did on adding to the discussion. You will need to give a grade on the author's purpose task card. So you'll just need to go through and grade and make sure that the students chose the correct purpose for each task card, because there was only one type of purpose for each task card, one vocabulary term. And then you'll just come down here to the discussion and you'll add points. Now that is the difference between these two closures. This closure that we added from Padlet would not be graded. That would be something that you would just give them just for them to be able to add to it. You would be able to manually put this into Synergy as a grade, but if you would like Canvas to grade it, then this is where you would use that discussion feature. All right, one last thing that I'd like to show you is, and this is where, if this was all you were looking for, this is where you can sign off. The last thing that I want to show you is how to force your kids into moving step by step by step. So what this means is they won't be able to go to just the graded things. They will have to go to each and every one for them to be able to move on in sequential order. So we're going to come down here and we're going to click on these 3 dots and we're going to click edit. And now what has showed up is something called requirements. Now what this does is this adds requirements to your module. So you can add a requirement. So when we add requirements, students must complete all of these requirements. So that means any requirement that you add down here, add requirement, any requirement that you add down here, they will have to complete before the module is 100% done. Students must complete one of these requirements. You can choose one requirement that the student will have to complete. So either they'll have to complete this one or this one. So that's for only if you only want one requirement. Now, if you want the students to move through the requirements in sequential order, then that's where you will click that. And this is where we will be able to add multiple requirements. So the first one is the video. So as you can see, that is the first thing that we've added, is we have our video. Now you need to make sure that you understand what comes first and what comes next, because it doesn't list them in sequential order. It only lists them in type. So we have to know that the first thing we did was the author's purpose video. That was the first page we shared with the kids. So that's going to be the first one. And we only want them to view the item before they can move on. So they view it. Now we cannot tell if they viewed the video because all this is asking them is just to view the item. So we don't know if they pressed play on the video. Hopefully they did. But again, that's not something that we can control, unfortunately. Then we're going to move on to the epic reading because that is the next page. And again, we're just going to want them to view the item. These are the different things that are optional here. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is we've got our author's purpose discussion. So they are going to need to go to the author's purpose discussion, and this is where we can have them contribute to the page. So what this is doing is they have to contribute to the discussion to be able to move on. And that's where we're going to be able to add another requirement that the assignment is the next thing, the task cards. So for them to move on to the task cards, they have to contribute to the first author's purpose discussion. The task cards, they have to submit the assignment to be able to move now on to the closure. So this is how you can get your kids. And now we're going to move on and we're going to have the closure. I'm going to do the discussion and not the page, because remember the page is the Padlet. So we're going to do the discussion. And now we're going to update the module. But this is a way for you to, and we want to contribute to the page. So this is a way for you to be able to control in what order the kids are doing the module, what they need to do first, what they need to do next, and what they need to do last. And this is a way for you to be able to say, okay, well, you looked at the video. Well, it's not my fault that you didn't watch the video. I see that you looked at the page. If you didn't press play, it's a way for you to kind of control what they're viewing first and what they're doing next, just so they don't skip ahead and do the discussions without doing anything else, do the assignment without doing anything else, or do the closure without doing anything else. So we're going to update the module. And now you can see that it says complete all items because it is asking them to complete all items. And now we will publish it. And when you publish the module, it publishes everything that is in the module all together. So that's why I didn't click save and publish with any of these. I waited till the end because it's a lot easier just to click publish for the module and then all of them publish themselves. So that's it. That's it for me, folks. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks.